So there's a couple games I want to talk about in this video. Those games being Brotato, Call of the Wild, The Angler, and Carcassonne. I was gonna make individual videos for each of them, but I think it might be better just to talk about them all in one video. It might be a little more efficient. And just as a little disclaimer, I did not buy any of these games. I have them in my Epic Games library, so I claimed them for free at some point since Epic Games is always giving away free games. And I've been trying to get through that library of games. So yeah. All right. So to start with Potato, it's like a little roguelike game, kind of Vampire Survivors ish, but there's like a market in between each round. You know, you're trying to survive 20 rounds, or you can go endless mode. There's like a boss at wave 20, and there's like different difficulties. I started playing this game. I wasn't expecting to get into it as much as I did. You know, there's a bunch of different characters. There's like they're all like little potatoes and stuff, different potatoes, different effects. My goal was originally to try and beat all five of the difficulty levels, but as I played it, I got more into it. I actually really enjoyed the game. Um, and I found like the first few difficulties not so bad, but then like the later ones were pretty hard, like three, four, five difficulty levels. So at that point, I realized I couldn't just like, waddle my way through the waves. Um, and I would have to actually like grind a little bit. So I grinded some items, I grinded some characters. I ended up unlocking all the characters actually in the end because I thought, why not? Like I unlocked most of them, and I got some items. So to get unlock items, you have to beat the game with certain characters, and to unlock characters, you have to do like certain achievements or tasks, and like the game tells you what they are. It's like, oh, like collect 3,000 material or something, or like have 10 trees spawn on the screen when the round ends or something like that. But yeah, overall it's pretty good. There's a lot of different weapons, a lot of variety, and like I think the stat system in that game is pretty interesting. You can have like positive stats or negative stats, but a lot of the characters you want to like specialize them depending on what build you're going. So like you don't want to be an all-rounder really. You want to like have your Brotato like be specialized in certain things, you know. Like if you're doing range damage, you don't really need melee damage, right? So I use like the guns and stuff a lot, but I experimented with some of the other weapons. There's some really cool weapons and stuff. You can get like the legendaries. Got like a minigun on one of my early runs, and that thing just owns. After unlocking all the characters, I tried to beat difficulty 4 and 5, which were the ones I was struggling with in general. And I think I played as the masochist or masochist. I forgot how you say it. And it made it really easy actually. That guy is big cheese, dude. Some of the characters in this have such massive cheese, and like some of them are so easy to play. Some of them are really fun. Some of them are really hard to play. Like any run I did with the ghosts, most of them I would die even on the lowest difficulty because it was bad. But um, yeah, you really got to specialize them, and there's a lot of different like cool mechanics. There's like one character that can have like in general you get like 6 weapons, but one character can get like 24 weapons or something, or like some of them change the store mechanics, and the store is pretty cool too because you can re-roll and you can lock stuff for the next time. It took me way too long I could to realize that I could like combine similar weapons, so I could combine 2 gray SMGs to make a blue one. Like I didn't realize I could do that for a while. That was a game changer for sure. Yeah, I played the ranger a lot. I like the ranger. I played a bunch of other characters just to try and unlock stuff that I thought would be useful. I did not beat the game with all characters, but I did with like a handful of them. And I eventually beat level 5 of difficulty. And overall, I thought the game was pretty fun. I like how like you can see the stats, you can see how the things affect you, and then there's like separate stats, and it's really cool to get like a OP build. I like building turrets when I could. Um, Even if my build didn't work for it, sometimes I'd lose because of that. And you don't want negative stats, like there's debuffs for negative stats for some things, but sometimes it doesn't even matter. As far as roguelikes game go, I do generally enjoy them. I like Brotato. I liked it a lot more than I thought I would. I wasn't expecting it to play it as much as I did. Um, but overall, it's a good time. If you like roguelikes, it's definitely worth checking out. It also has co-op mode, which is kind of sick. I didn't end up trying it, but there's a lot of content in there, and like it's a good time going through the waves and trying to feed the bosses and stuff. So Yeah. All right, so next I'm going to talk about Call of the Wild, the Angler. Um, so this is like an open world fishing game. You like explore the map and go fishing in different ponds and stuff. So it's pretty cool. I understand that there's a Call of the Wild, the Hunter. I think that game's more popular, maybe. I haven't played that one, so I don't know what that one's like. But the Angler was pretty cool. You just go to a pond, you customize your rods and stuff, and fish for some fish. Use whatever bait you want. I really like the exploring aspect of the game. That's probably my favorite part. If you're like just exploring around and like seeing the scenes, it's like pretty beautiful environments and stuff. And there's like little outposts that it's kind of like doing the um, synchronization you do in like Assassin's Creed. You go to an outpost and like shows you the area around and shows you some markers and stuff. Um, but it was cool, and the fishing part was not bad. Like sometimes I was having trouble catching fish, and it would get kind of boring. So I think if you like fishing, you'd probably like this game. Because it seems to be like very in tune with fishing, if you know what I mean. I'm not a big fishing person, so the fishing part was okay for me. It was fun when I caught like big fish. It was not so fun when I wasn't catching any fish at all. But part of that could have been due to not having enough knowledge about the game. Because at some point, someone did send me like a link to like a spreadsheet showing like, oh, like these fish go on these hooks, or like this is what you need to catch this size fish of this type, and like this is the bait you should be using. And that definitely helps streamline things a little bit more. But just going off the game, it's kind of hard to tell because you like go to a pond and you use like fish eggs, and then they like it's the wrong type of bait. But you can tell in the game sometimes too, like what they eat. But sometimes it's like, oh, use the wrong hook or something like that. And you unlock like better rods and like reels and stuff you can use, and lines. You can buy hooks, and you unlock like other like slots for fishing rods, so you can have up to like three fishing rods going at one time. So you can put two in holders, and then you can be like fishing with another one. You just fish, reel in your fish. The way that the fishing mechanics work in this game is like once you build your rod, so you pick your rod, reel, line, and your hook, and then some baits or whatever. The way the fishing mechanics work is that you cast out your line, and then it goes in the water, wait for a fish to catch it, and then you reel it in. And there's like a little meter. They have to reel it in, but if it gets too stressed out, then the line breaks. But you can also like pull the fish back, and you're like supposed to like tire out the fish to like bring it back to you. And there's also like multiple different types of ways to fish. So you can do like lure fishing, or like bait fishing, or like you can do the one where it's like bottom feeder. So you like have a thing that sinks down to the bottom of the pond or whatever, and it gets the bottom feeding fish, or like one that floats on top, or like there's the one that you can jig, so you can like reel it in and jig and twitch it and stuff. And they have different effectiveness for different fish. But they're all viable, definitely. One thing I will say is like creating the rods and stuff, like this game could definitely use some quality of life features. Like making the rods is kind of annoying because like if you don't finish all the way, it gets reset and you have to like constantly switch them in and out. So but you can have a bunch of rods that are like preset. So at the end it's like not that bad. There's like missions you can do, and like my goal was to like finish all the missions, which eventually I did do. You have to like explore and go to the outpost, and there's like photo challenge missions, or it's like, oh, go to this photo spot and catch fish, or like there's like, oh, catch fish of this rank in this pond. The driving around, you can drive in this game, and you like drive around a jeep, and the driving's kind of ass. The controls do not feel good on the driving. And pretty much the game doesn't want you to drive anywhere off the path. It's just like the roads are clear. Anywhere off the roads are so like clunky. It's so cluttered that like it makes it really hard to drive anywhere else off the road. Not that it's not possible, but they just want you to stay on the path. After I like finished all the missions that they had available, I set out to catch a legendary fish, but it was honestly too complicated and too grindy. So I didn't really feel like doing it. It wasn't that complicated, but it's like, oh, the fish rotates every single week. So like there's three fish on the map I played, Golden Ridge Reserve. And they like change it swaps out every single week. And then you need like really good hooks and rods and like reels to catch them, and like I didn't feel like grinding for all of that, so I just kind of gave up on that. But I did catch some pretty big fish. um I took screenshots of them, so I'll probably leave them here. I actually couldn't get a screenshot of the biggest fish I caught because I caught it and I was like holding it, and then another fish came and bit my other hook. So I was like, oh shit, I need to catch the other fish. So I didn't have time to screenshot it. So I kind of regret that a little bit. There's also DLC for this game, so there's different maps. So the main one the game comes with is Golden Ridge Reserve. It's very pretty, like it's a little forest, like mountain area. But there's also like I've heard some of the DLC maps are like good and some are like not so good. So there's like one in Japan, there's like one in Africa. I don't remember where the other ones are, but like I've heard the Japan one is really good. I haven't checked it out. And one really neat thing about this game is like since this game is multiplayer, you can go fish with your friends. So if you want to do that, this is a great game to do that. But one really cool thing is with the DLC, only one person needs to own the map, for everyone to play it. So if you have like a friend who buys a DLC, someone else can like go, to that map with you. But yeah, I think the multiplayer aspect of this game is pretty cool too, because you can like see other people fishing. You can't really interact with them. You can like stand in front of them while they're fishing, like grief them a little bit. But it's really not a big deal. Um, so when I played, like I had another friend playing too, and it was cool whenever we got to like play together and like fish a little bit together or just like mess around. Yeah, if you want like a fishing game that is you can just hang out with your friends and stuff and play, like it's pretty good. I think if you like fishing in general, you might like this game if you're like into fishing and like games. This one's probably good. Honestly, like I wasn't as into the fishing part of it as I was into like exploring the map. I thought the map was cool. It's like really pretty and stuff. So, um, it wasn't necessarily like the game for me. I still played through it, but um, it just wasn't my type of game. If you think you'd like it, like just for the fishing aspect, or even just for like fishing with your friends aspect, like it's definitely worth a shot. Like I said, it's like not exactly my type of game. So like sometimes I enjoyed it, sometimes I didn't. It is what it is. All right, so the next game I want to talk about is Carcassonne, and this game is like a turn-based like board game type of game. You like there's like a board, and each player like takes turns placing a certain. You get a random tile, and you place that tile like on the board somewhere and try and connect like roads or make cities together. Um, which it wasn't bad. It was cool. I started playing it. And there's no like story or campaign, so it's like only multiplayer or like you can play against bots. So I was just playing against bots. Um, and at first I was playing against one bot, so I played until I beat that, and then I started playing against six bots, and then I that was too hard, so I started playing against four bots, and I was able to win that one too. But it's like you put your tiles on to either you want to like connect roads to villages or like make really big towns, or like you can put them in fields to claim territory, and each one you do like gives you a certain amount of points. So there's like 72 tiles, and then by the end you want to like have the most points when this once the 72 tiles runs out. um it was all right, like against one player, like after I got it, it made it a little easier, but you get so many tiles. But then when there's like six players, it's the same amount of tiles. It's like super hard, and like these fucking goddamn computers, bro. Like the one time I thought I could beat them, I had like 37 points, and they all had like 10. But then like some of them had like so much territory that like I didn't even pay attention to. Um, that they like ended up winning instead. So I was unable to finish the six-player game. But I tried the four-player one because the six was hard, and I was able to do the four-player. But yeah, alongside like putting the tiles and stuff down, you get little meeple, and they're like little guys, so you can like put them down in like a town. To like claim that town. So if someone else builds it, like someone else can finish your town, but if your meeple is there, like you still get the credit for it. Or like you can put it on a road or something. And if someone else has like the same, if you both have a meeple on there, then like whoever has more, you can get like two or three on there. Then that'll count for whoever has more. And like that's how you claim the territory. You put them on the fields and stuff too. Um, so it was an interesting game. It's like a little board game. And I actually found out. I was telling my girlfriend about this, and I found out that Carcassonne is actually a board game, like in real life, and I didn't know that, but it makes sense. It definitely plays like a board game. But it was all right. It's probably more fun as like a board game, play around people, or like with just with friends in general than robots that fucking cheat, bro. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I thought the game was all right. It didn't grip me too hard. I just played for like a few hours and then I stopped. It was interesting, I will say, but I'm not like a big like RTS or like strategy type person, so I didn't get like super into it either. Um, but it wasn't bad overall. I think maybe if you're into like board games or something like that, then it might be worth it. But otherwise, like it wasn't anything too crazy. You could always look up some gameplay and see like how you feel about how the game works. And there's like DLC and stuff for it too that like kind of change how the game plays. So I don't really know how that works. One of them I had to like make an account to get. It's like free, but you just have to make an account. But I didn't feel like doing that, so yeah. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this like little blitz round of talking about games. I honestly didn't have too much to say about most of them. There isn't really a story in like Brotato or like Call the Wild Angler or Carcassonne to like go over. So yeah, I just thought I'd put them all in one video. Um, that's about it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I need to come up with like a name for when I play like my Epic Games library. So if you guys have any ideas, do let me know. I was kind of thinking of like Epic Games goalie, but I don't even know if that makes sense. I just feel like it sounds like not bad, you know? But yeah, thank you all for watching or listening, and see ya. Have a good one.